It's Friday and I'm not at market, so here we are. So what is going on? I see 21 people are here. Nobody's chatting yet. So hello. How are you? It's so hot here. It's like I'm melting. Hi, Melody. Hi, Rose. Hi, Debbie. Mary Jo and Sandy and Shannon and Alma and Nessa and Dawn and Dominique and Barbara and Tony's Dance Academy. Hello, everyone. Portia. Hi, Nancy. Kathy. Susie. Robin. Debbie. Bonnie. Peggy. Sandy. Melody. Trish. Crochet by Ennis. Lori. Hello, all. You guys ready to watch me struggle crocheting? Let's see. Letitia, Carol, April. Hi, everyone. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So what's everybody up to tonight? Well, welcome, Lisa, if this is your first live with us. So warm. You're just relaxing, Portia? What am I making? I'm going to attempt to make the last plant, hanging plant, the car hanger things. I've made 4 and there's 1 left, so I'm going to attempt to make it. You're trying to find a good guinea pig pattern? Couldn't Stacy's hamster pass as a guinea pig? So you're doing straps on a market bag. Crocheting a red panda holding a flower for a pattern test. That sounds fun. Chicks and eggs, those are always good ones. Working on hanging potted plants she showed on Wednesday. It's all Robin's fault. I know, I'm sorry. That's what I'm going to be working on. The 5th and final one in the group, and then I'll decide which ones I like out of the 5. And then those will be the ones that I make. So you thought about Stacy's hamster? I think that would be a good guinea pig. Just, you know, look up colors and go from there. You're testing a Labubu Dino onesie. Okay. Making a huge Santa. You're skipping over Halloween and going straight to Christmas. A little elephant free pattern on YouTube. Okay, you're working on the 4th plant. I did like those plants. Of course I did the 2 easiest ones first and then saved the harder ones for last, but this one's not going to be that hard. It's just the twisty one. It's just like not losing count. Let's see. Trying out a new pattern. Baby Grim Reaper. That'd be a good one for Halloween. And you're making my bucket hat. Let's skip the decor and just go straight to the fall weather. I am ready. Sam's a cool pattern. That's a cool one to do. Making a snugglefint. Okay. What is a snugglefint? I'm assuming that's an elephant of some sort. She wants Santa, Mrs. Claus, and a reindeer. She's asking a lot. Hi, Sylvia. Yeah, these plants are fun. The pots go really quick, and depending on which plant, they go pretty quick too. It's too hot all over the place, I'm telling you. It's like, you step outside, you feel like you're walking into an oven. Nancy, you lost at Yarn Chicken? I hate it when that happens. Let's see, you live in South Florida and pray that it cools off. Peggy, I am in Central Florida and I'm hoping it cools off too. See, now I'm off. I'm off. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Try it again. He bought a book of Halloween characters off of Amazon today. Yeah, I don't plan on doing a whole lot that is like Halloween related. I do want to have some. I just don't want to get stuck with it all till next year. And with, you know, getting rained out of markets, I'm already one less market than I thought I would have to try and sell off some Halloween stuff. So, depending on how that goes, it could be good or it could be bad. Single, double, no, that's single. North Central Florida and praying for the same thing. Oh my God, it's just awful all over. You've been making bats with white pupil eyes. I don't know if I like those eyes. They are just weird looking. So hi Nick, hi Fuzzy Butt. Nessa, hello. I've been looking at that ghost pattern too. That is a cool looking ghost, but it looks like it's going to be huge. You have pumpkins from last year they didn't sell. See, I didn't make any. And the little bit of Halloween that I did have, we got, our market got canceled because of the storms. So, yeah, I still have a little bit left over from last year, too. 95 in Oklahoma. Ugh. Yeah, we hit almost 100 today. You saw a ghost lobby hot in Texas. Isn't it always hot in Texas? But except you guys get snow. We don't get snow. Joanne, you're making spiders. I made spiders yesterday. And I don't like spiders. That was very hard for me to do. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Tina. Hi, Nancy. That ghost is adorable. I've got it on my watch list. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. 103? Ugh, Carla, that's, it's too much. Too much. Hi, Christine. She's made that that ghost pattern a couple of times. And I think she needs to make one more. She was saying she had a special order for it. So, I don't know. I mean, I just think like I'm not the type of person that buys a holiday themed items very much because you can only use it that short time of the year and then it has to get put away. I want something I can use all the time. Yes, Tina, I am trying to crochet the last of the 5 plants out of those potted plant patterns that I bought the other day. So I have one more. I've made 4. I showed you guys 3 of them, but I have one more to make. And then I'll have one of each, and then I can decide which ones I like the best. How much is a little when it comes to crochet heating for Halloween? Huh? How much, you know, like maybe 4 or 5 items when I say just a little. Because I don't want to get stuck with it. So you saw a cute witch on Instagram that was a test. You signed up, but per usual didn't get selected. I hope it comes out soon. It's hard to get picked on Instagram. There's so many people applying, and it's hard on the designer too to pick the people. You're only gonna make baby grins in Annie Caraway's ghost pattern, okay? You like the Spider-Man spiders. You saw someone somewhere in your patterns, must have. Sarah, yes, we are live right now. Hi, Nancy. You just got back from setup from a 2-day market. So tired. Ugh. You already did the market or you're setting up for the market? You only make holiday items for people that ask for them? That's a good idea. What color yarn am I using? I am using, this will probably be backwards, Parfait Chunky Azure, however you pronounce it, A-Z-U-R-E. And then chocolate for the dirt. And then I'm going to use the kiwi lime for the plant. So each one of my plants is a different shade of green. Well, hi, Sarah. Welcome to our live. You made it. You have a September 13th fall market. Do they consider that fall? It's still like summer. It's like, is it really fall? I don't know. Well, thank you, Sarah. Your market is tomorrow and Sunday? Well, at least you got to set up early, so it's not like so stressful in the morning or evening, whenever it is. You know, you can go in all fresh instead of being all sweaty and gross from all the setup. That's what they're calling it. You finally got picked to do a pattern test for Southern Gal Crochet. Oh, you got to do the wiener dog? I wish she'd put that on Etsy instead of her own website. Personally, I prefer to buy off of Etsy. I know the fees are a little bit higher, but I just feel like it's a little more secure. Your September markets or fall festivals, pretty much anything after Labor Day. Yeah, I can see that. Now, have you guys noticed in the chat that the 2 moderators are MIA. Heather's trying to get everything ready for her market tomorrow. And I think Mary's out walking a dog, and she said she might be a little late. Time to fire them? Oh no. Keep them on. I might have to hire a few more people. Although we don't seem to get very many trolls, which is nice. Which is very nice. Yeah, I prefer to purchase them off of Etsy. That's just, I don't know. That's just me. Do you need a fill-in moderator? Let's see. Okay, Carla, type something. See if that worked. No Sue or Katie. Sue doesn't really like the lives all that much. She comes every now and then. Yep, you're in blue now, Carla. It does make it hard when you're trying to read the chat and make sure nothing funky's going on. It makes it hard to crochet. But I find it's hard to do it anyways, even if I'm just like chatting regularly in the chat. And yeah, it takes me like 100 times as long to make something if I'm participating in the chat than if I was just crocheting. You're doing the Share the Love challenge. That one's pretty cool, but I found it hard to find ones that I liked that everybody else wasn't already making that I haven't already made. I mean, I know there's a ton of them on there, and obviously I have not seen all of them, but they don't make it easy to search on Instagram. Carol, that cow has been retired out to greener pastures, so to speak. But after the video is over, I'll write myself a note. I can put the link in the description of the video for you. And, you know, just give me a little bit of time after the live is over, and then you can check there for the link. Well, thank you, Deanna. That was very kind. Just got back from celebrating your husband's 83rd birthday with both your sons and their children. It's 1:15 a.m. Saturday the 16th. Joan, you need to go night-night. Yes, the cow pattern is on Etsy. Thinking of doing your first market. It is indoors. Insurance, table, and helpers are included for $120. $84 for you guys. Is that an okay amount? It depends on what they're promising you. I mean, I don't think 84 is bad. I mean, I think the most I've paid for a market, and it was a 2-day market, was $150. Right now I've been averaging like $56 and $70, so you know, it depends on what they're going to give you for that. So I'm starting the trim piece on the little pot now. Toby has not come to visit me. I have to go over there to visit him. But I have to tell you, since our dog passed away and Jenna and her cats moved out and we don't have any pets of our own, we have had several stray cats hanging around outside. And there was 2 little white ones that looked like they might be a Siamese mix. And you know what I did? I felt so bad for them. First, I just gave them some water because it was so hot outside. And then I couldn't stand listening to them cry anymore, so I went to the fridge and I had some leftover chicken and I broke it apart and fed them the chicken. So you know what that started? Now I have 3 cats, only one of those little white ones that look like they're a Siamese mix, one that is all orange, and one that is very similar to Toby's markings. Yeah. So I fed them, and then John went and bought some cat food, and so we're feeding all these stray cats. They're outdoor cats, Carla. They are outdoor cats. So we've been checking on, I don't think they're feral because they're too, like, friendly. So I think somebody's, like, just ditched them. So I've been checking on the, what do they call that? Trap, neuter, release. If you trap it, they neuter it for a lower price, and then they get released back into the same areas. Because Lord knows we don't need a colony of cats around here. But there are 3 of them. And I've given them all names so that I know who I'm talking about. So the little white one, well, you know, if they keep vermin away, that would be a good thing. So the little white one, half of its tail is missing. So I don't know what got a hold of it. But that one's name is Shorty. And then the one that looks like similar to Toby with the markings, his name is Scoop, because when he eats, he opens his mouth almost flat to the dish and just scoops up a mouthful of food. So he gets called Scoop. And then the other one, he is so gangster. At first, if you made eye contact with him, he would hiss, and he has this really loud meow. And so his name is Capone because he's so gangster. At least that's their nicknames. I really think they belong to somebody, and they just haven't gone home because we fed them. It's about, you know, half a tail. I don't think it was born with the short one, and the one that we saw with it first looked identical to it with the exception of the tail. They're mine now. Well, there's 3 of them hanging around out there. And you got to feel bad for them because it's so hot, but I like my furniture. I don't need 3 cats that aren't fixed to spray my furniture and all that good stuff. Oh, I did not see your comment, Deanna. Sorry. Let's see. You're making the horse pattern for a commission. It's for a rodeo queen. Finish it using the new Parfait plush. They have some great... Oh, the Parfait plush. No, that's the bigger one. So that's going to come out a good size. If it was the Parfait chunky, I was going to say they have some great brown colors now. Did anyone else see that Tractor Supply is doing a farmer's market on September 13th? It's free for vendors. You signed up, but not sure about it. Anyone try this? I've heard people talk about that before. Is that like nationwide? Do they do that? We have a colony of cats in a small country town I live in. I like cats, but it's not good when walking the dog. There's a lady who captures them to be spayed and neutered. That will slow down the growth. Somebody told me that a male and a female cat, by the end of the year, you could have 72 cats. That's scary. A 6.5 with that. So is that thicker, Deanna, than the Sweet Snuggles Light, or would you say it's right about the same? Because I use a 6 with Sweet Snuggles Light. Your Tractor Supply is doing August 28th. We have a Tractor Supply not far from here. But if it's in the daytime in this heat, I don't know that I want to. Now, if they do it, say, October-ish, November-ish, December-ish, that would be different. Especially December, because it won't be like 9,000 degrees outside. So you would say it's thicker? Okay. I ordered a couple to try, mainly black and white. And because I needed to get my order up to get the free shipping, because I had to order a few colors on the brights. I think it's supposed to be here tomorrow. Your dog is allergic to fleas, so you have to scare the stray cats away from the yard. My daughter's older cat, Whiskers, the one I call the demon cat, he's allergic to fleas. I was like, who ever heard of a cat being allergic to fleas? But he was. The reverse single crochet on this is very awkward. But it's a nice, sturdy, firm stitch. Let's see. It's a lot better to work with than Sweet Snuggles, like with the shedding, because I have to say that Sweet Snuggles Light and the Home Slim are like the worst I've tried with the shedding. What size hook do you use for your Myrtle the Turtle? I use with the Myrtles, I've been using the Brights, and I use a 6mm. And then like right now I'm using Parfait Chunky with a 5mm. Is that what this technically is the crab stitch? So I don't have to be scared of that in a pattern anymore because I can kind of do it. Let's see. Can I ask a question how you run ends of threads without stuffing coming off and leaving white threads? Well, if you take and strip those of the fluff and then separate the strings in that, tie them in little knots, and you can trim them close, and they just kind of bury themselves in the plush yarn. Your two cats are ring-tailed lynx points. One was found under a car. My neighbor gave it to me. I couldn't let it go. I don't know. I'm not ready for another cat. Alma, you need to make them. Then you can do the other challenge. It's, you know, making stuff out of your stash that you've had for a while and just haven't done. Single crochet backwards is the crab stitch, okay. I don't think that was hard. I mean, you have a lot of sewing, but I don't think that dragon pattern was hard. But then I'm kind of used to Shannon's patterns. But if you've done any of her patterns on the dragons, that one is not difficult. You're doing the horned-toed lizard in the mystical yarn. What color are you using? I did make Tracy's Leonard the lobster. The only awkward, or I wouldn't say it was hard, I'd just say awkward. The big claws are the only thing that take your time with those, and the rest of it's a breeze. Crochet Diana's, I hope you feel better. Get some rest. The splooting patterns are extremely easy compared to the dragons, but the dragons, they're really not that hard. There's just a lot of sewing. And when you go to do the sewing, do it with fresh mind and fresh eyes. So like if you make all your parts tonight, wait till tomorrow, and then you'll be happy with your results better. Hello, Sue. Beach foam, the light color is such a great pattern. Beach foam, in what brand? Do you watch any shows while crocheting? I am constantly watching stuff while I'm crocheting. Once I run through all my YouTubers for the day, I'll switch over to Netflix or Hulu or something and watch. Hi, Katie. You want to make a dragon and just have to get my Crojo back. Hope I spelled that right. Yes, you did. That will help you get your Crojo back, doing a dragon. It will definitely help. They are so cool when they are finished. They are just very cool. Okay, so the pot part is done. Now we got to put the dirt in. This seems like real small. Any good show recommendations? Well, of course, on Netflix, the new Wednesday season 2 has come out. I haven't watched that yet. It depends on what you like. Usually for current shows, I go to Hulu, but, you know, they are done for the summer. It'll be a little bit before they all start up new seasons, if any of them, if they got renewed or not. And then, you know, the older stuff like binge watching, because there's no ads, it's Netflix. But I switch back and forth. This time of year is Netflix. During regular, when the new stuff for, you know, current new stuff is out, then I'll watch Hulu. Outlander, I think I only have one season left on that. I didn't watch all of it. The splitting patterns are awesome. My daughter wants the corgi. That's not Shannon's pattern, the corgi. That one is huge when it's finished. It's not hard, but it is huge, and that's with Parfait Chunky. Oh, okay, yeah. That's, I can't remember the name of that pattern either, but I know which one you're talking about. She has a modification to make it splitting. Bernat Beach Foam. Okay. I'm not sure what that color looks like, but I'll check it out. But that's something I have to buy in person because I don't trust Bernat. The Gilded Age on HBO Max. Sue, not all of us have HBO and Cinemax. I pay for enough just to be able to watch TV out here. Wednesday is a definite watch in your house. Hermione with Outlander. Be prepared for some pretty explicit sex scenes. You're pretty new to Parfait Chunky. Finding the center pull ever easy with these? No, it is not. Mine almost always gets worked from the outside because I can never find the center. Now on the brights, I never have a problem finding the center. Hi, Lorraine. All right, so I've got 24 of these. If I can find my stitch. You listened to Outlander when you were working in a linen factory making sheet sets. It was a great series, but I'm afraid the movie may ruin it for me. I didn't know they were coming out with a movie on that. Is there more than one way to do a bobble stitch? I'm working on a loaf cat, and I think I'm going to have to undo and redo. Well, basically it's the same. Sometimes they tell you to do 3 incomplete double crochets. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5. Sometimes they'll tell you to do a triple. So, but basically the bobble stitch is the same. Let's see. You always get yarn barf. Yeah, mine would be like the entire skein of the Parfait Chunky that would be yarn barf. I don't even try anymore. Currently watching Lost, but we'll watch anything really. Yeah, I did the whole binge watching on Lost too. Currently, I have been rewatching all of Supernatural. I think I'm on season 7. And it was funny because the first couple of seasons, all I could do was laugh about how bad the acting is. You bought all the splitting patterns, including the deer. It is totally your fault for making them. Well, it's Shannon's fault because she wrote the pattern. But the deer, I have made 2 of those and I've sold both of them. So that one's a cute one. Let's see. I had bought a Bigfoot pattern. I actually sold a couple of them. Not at market because subscribers bought them before I could take them to market. So I'm not sure. Oh. Any tips to get the bobbles to look better? I don't know. I always, after I make them, when I'm done, I'll take my needle and stick in the center and like pull them up so that it tightens everything up and makes them come out more. Who is Shannon? Shannon is Snugglebeans Crochet. I have never heard of Everwood. Did I see the Oogie keychain? I did not. Who has an Oogie keychain? You want to do the splitting patterns? Haven't tried yet. They're pretty cool, and they're fairly fast for the size of them. And the only thing you sew on, at least on the ones that I've done, well, the frog you have to, nope, you can crochet those in, is the head to the body. So, and that's just kind of like a straight line. Sue's made 3 of the splitting patterns so far. I've done the unicorn, the dinosaur, the bear, 2 of those, one like Winnie the Pooh, one regular, the deer, the frog. So I still have more to do on those. You binge all the true crime shows. You know, I like some of those too. Mary's finally here. Hi, Mary. Hi, Tina. Are you the only one who watches shows like NCIS, CSI, and Person of Interest? Well, when I was in the hospital when I had Jenna, that's when I discovered shows like Law and Order, CSI, Charmed. They only had a couple of stations in the hospital. So I watched them, but they all ended the same. And I start to get like that with a lot of the shows. Oh, come on. Why aren't you coming up? Nope. Why? Oh, hang on, you guys. The iPad is very different from the regular computer for this stuff. I don't see how to do it on here. So, and it's not letting me. Well, I'll have to fix that later. I can't figure out how to fix it. Sorry, guys. Landman or the Pit. Never heard of either one of those. So now we have 12 decreases. Yeah, I have never heard of either one of those. If you watched and liked the show ER from years ago, you'll love The Pit. I did watch ER, like back when it first started. I liked it. And then it changed too much when they like moved out all the original characters and replaced them all. I kind of got away from it. Yeah, Law and Order SVU. I like that one too. Oogie is by All Doodled Out Designs. Okay, cool. Thank you. You know, these dark colors, it's so hard to see the stitches. Even this brown, it's almost as bad as the black. Okay. You're watching, I watched Once Upon a Time too. That was pretty good. I mean, it was kind of cool how they kept changing it to all the different characters. You know, like this one's the bad guy this week, and then next week or next season it's a different bad guy, and yeah, that one was pretty cool. Too many unrealistic scenes? Yeah, well, they're all like that. Katie, I watched Criminal Minds, and until they added Jennifer Love Hewitt to it. She did not fit in that show. You stopped watching all those shows a long time ago because they never ended. Well, they're like nighttime soap operas. Yeah, I tried Bones. I didn't care for that one too much. Haven't heard of Cold Justice. You only watched the season with Jennifer Love Hewitt in it? I can't. Okay. Now we're down to 6 decreases in the back loop. Better put some stuffing in this or I won't be able to put any in it. That's back when it was good. When Mandy Pat Tinkin, if I said it right, was in it. What was the worst, like the episode that got to you the worst on Criminal Minds? Like totally creepy. Just creepy. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. Quilted Cupcake, I watch a lot of crochet on YouTube as well. But then when it runs out for the day, that's when I switch over to the others. Hermione, that's the exact one I am thinking of that just like really got me. When they fed the bodies to the pigs. That was awful. Just awful. I wouldn't trust them anymore either. If they'll do, ugh. That was the worst. I was just like, no way. And they kept finding more and more shoes. Oh no. That was based on a serial killer in Canada. That was like a real serial killer in Canada. Yeah, I like The Rookie too. That one's fun. It's got a little bit of comedy in it. You were hoping no one mentioned that? The show about it is on either Netflix or Prime. So what would the name of it be? His name was Robert Picton. He had a pig farm. Ugh. Well, I will say it's kind of a little comforting knowing that Americans aren't the only crazy people, if you know what I mean. The pig farm is the show. Okay. Virgin River is very cheesy. There's a lot of them that are like that. What's that one? They just added season 3 to Netflix. Gosh, we just talked about it a couple lives ago. You got our crazies, you got your crazies there too? Well, I don't know. I mean, are they like Florida Man? Because like Florida Man's always on the news. The man who wrote the Dexter books lives in the town next to me and came to our school to talk about it when they were making the show. Pretty cool. Sullivan's Crossing. That's exactly the one I was thinking of. What was the one he was trying to cure his... Yes, that was the one where he was trying to cure his brother. Okay, so now it's time for the plant. Oops, I forgot to mark my stitch so that I know where to start. Be warned, the pig farm is creepy. I don't mind creepy. As long as my back isn't to a window like it is now, like I would not sit here at this table and watch it with that window behind me. Just wouldn't do it. Heather, you are so very, very late. Did you get all your stuff done? The doll episode on Criminal Minds? The doll episode. Nah, I don't know about that one. I don't really remember it, so I don't know. What are you making? I am making another one of the hanging plants. I just got the pot finished. I'm getting ready to start the plant part of it. Are they still making new seasons of Criminal Minds? I mean, like I said, I kind of stopped watching when Jennifer Love Hewitt came on the scene. You know, they got rid of all the good characters. They are still making new seasons. Huh. I'm surprised. Who's in it now? Are any of the original characters in it anymore? The puppet one where the guy's mother was dead. Ugh. I don't think I can watch it or go to sleep around 3 a.m. all by myself, so I don't think so. A lot of people say that about Walking Dead, that Negan ruined it for them. Just Rossi? What? Yeah, I'd have a hard time watching it then. You've never heard of Florida Man? He's always on the news. It's not one person, it's like any dude from Florida because they're not all upstairs. Florida Man, Florida Man. And I'm like, you make everybody in Florida look bad by saying it like that, but they do all the time. So I watched all of The Walking Dead. I didn't give up after Negan. Although I probably should have, because they drug that on for way too long. And then I watched the spin-offs. The only one that I really couldn't do, well, two of them. I didn't do the one in New York with Maggie and Negan, and I didn't really watch the one with Daryl over in France. But I kept waiting for them to explain it, and they never really did. I mean, you got little bits and pieces, little nuggets, but they never really explained it. So, and that was the only reason. Where is even the outside pull on this one? That I kept watching is because I wanted to know how. Other than whatever happened, the scientists made it worse. That's all I know. You couldn't watch Hannibal. I didn't watch the series Hannibal. Silence of the Lambs I watched. Let me see if I can see my stitches here. Is it gonna go? Oh, I'm gonna use a lighter brown next time. Crocheting that way. I ended there, so I need to go back this way, I think. I think it will make it work. Shaun of the Dead or Zombieland, but not the serious ones. Fear the Walking Dead was good. Then it got a little stupid. They all get a little stupid. I think they just run out of storyline. You couldn't watch Silence of... I did. I watched it. That was great. He rubs the lotion, or no, it rubs the lotion on its skin. You need hockey back? Oh, come on, Heather. You can watch all these creepy shows with us. I like watching that creepy stuff. And then I like the creepy stuff, but I also like to watch conspiracy theory type stuff. Like, what was the name of that show? Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson. And Julia Roberts. Or, Designated Survivor, you know, stuff like that. All conspiracy theory type. Psychological thrillers. Hannibal is one, yep. 12 Monkeys, I don't think I watched that one. What was that one? Where the husband and wife, they were kind of like, not really ghost hunters, but they would go into the people's homes and they could see all the different spirits, and then they'd capture like the cursed item and then take it and lock it away. I can't remember that. There's like 2 or 3 movies with the same people played in it. Annabelle is one of them. Not Ghostbusters. Conjuring, yes. That one creeped me out. That was very creepy. Yeah, that one was a little too much for me. Your favorite all-time show, Friends. Friends was funny. I binge watched that one while it was still on Netflix. But, you know, without the commercials, it was like 15 to 20 minutes an episode, so it went real quick, all their seasons. Comedian bought the Annabelle house. And then when I was a teenager, the one that creeped me out, I mean, I even had a hard time driving home from the theater, was the Amityville Horror. That one, I don't know what it was about it, but... And when I was young, The Exorcist, as cheesy as that is now, that one just, oh no, that was creepy to me. I don't blame you for being scared for life with that one. That one really bothered me when I was young. I can't even imagine if it was made with today's technology, how much scarier it would have been than with the cheesy special effects they had back then. Good night, Elisa. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now I think I did too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh yeah, about 10 too many. Firestarter was all right. I don't really find Stephen King movies scary. They're never like the book. They always change it. Like, I think the first one that I saw was Cujo, and they changed the ending. And then I watched Carrie, and they changed the ending. And I'm like, you can't do that to those of us who read. It has to end right. You're working on a clown that stands 30 inches? That's pretty big. You talking about arachnophobia? My oldest tortured me with that movie over and over again. Children of the Corn was definitely creepy. What'd you walk into? We're talking about scary movies. You live an hour from Stephen King? When you read and they change it in the movie, you almost feel ripped off. Absolutely feel ripped off. Absolutely. Stacy, we're talking about scary movies. Signs? That was all right. The Birds, that was creepy. As old as that movie was, that was creepy. Stacy, did you watch Jaws? You should never read the book before you watch a movie. Well, the book always comes out first. Jaws, yes, it's funny now. Yeah, now. I still don't go in the ocean. Stephen King has always been your favorite, but the Candyman movies scare me. Alfred Hitchcock movies, yep. Yep. I got two on here so far. See, now I didn't read Misery, so that one was okay for as far as the ending went because I didn't know any different. You won't swim where fish are? Fish do yucky things in the water. Well, you probably had Jaws on because it was Shark Week not too long ago. Like the last week of June, I think. That is very true. They cannot put the thoughts in the movies. And you always feel like you know the characters so much better from a book than from a movie. You have way too many carp. Chew on your toes. No, thank you. You know, they're just eating the dead skin. Just saying. Let's see. Mary moved to Florida at 20. You've been in the ocean maybe 10 times. Jaws did me in when I was 16. Yep. Yep. You're writing down every single suggestion. There's a new Green Mile. I feel like I'm so out of touch with the current stuff. You know, until it gets on Netflix or one of those things, I never see it. You just got home from Michael's. Have you seen the new Loops and Threads Demi Pearl? I have not. Michael's is a long drive for me, so if I'm over in the area, then I go and check it out. And then the Michaels that's closest to me well, the last time I was there, they didn't have a very big yarn section. Maybe it's improved since the Joann closing. I don't know. One of these days I'll get over that direction again. Sparkly Vamps that show blade in the back ready to kill. Okay. Yarn Fever, it's all about frog and crochet items. That wouldn't be very fun. Always been a fan of psychological thrillers. The Messengers is a great movie as well. The Messengers. I think I have seen that. Has anybody tried Cozy Cub? Has anybody in here tried Cozy Cub? I have not. Heather, that's the one you took back, right? Premier came out with new yarn today. They just came out with new yarn like 2 weeks ago. What's the new yarn? Lorraine, you're going to have to run over and check it out and tell us all about it. They were talking about sparkly vamps up a couple of messages ago. Like on Twilight, they sparkle. Hi, Kathy. You get in trouble because we alert you to new yarn? That's funny. That is funny. What's more like posh, Stacy? You're asking... Oh, Cozy Cub is more like posh. But not soft. Okay. If it's not soft, I don't want to try it. Now we have 3. They don't have Goblin. Did they put chocolate back in? On Brights, not on the Parfait Chunky. I don't use a Facebook. I gave up on Facebook probably going on 10 years now because of all the political bull on it, and I just stayed away. Looks like it's called Karma. It's a bulky yarn made of 51% acrylic, 34% cotton, 15% nylon. Well, thank you, Lorraine. That's not one I'll be getting, but thank you for checking. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well, I've had them put my email on their list for when they get the chocolate back in stock that they're supposed to notify me. But yeah, that's been a long time. You just wanted the whoops from Twilight, but can you imagine cleaning up after them? No. It's just 2 single crochets in each chain. Chocolate Basic Chenille Brights is in stock on the Premier sites. Yay, thank you. Now I'll have to place another order. Oh. I got a tickle in my throat that won't go away. Can I ask you if you do Instagram? I do have an Instagram. I'm not really on it much, but I have one. See, my Michaels is an hour away. Your local yarn shop will place custom orders for me and stay stocked in Premier Basic Chenille Brights. Huh. How much do they charge you since they're ordering it like that? Yeah, Carla, nothing but crickets. I think I even put my name on that one too, because I have such a small amount of goblin left, like small amount. A box of yarns. They charge $5.99 versus $3.99. But you pay for convenience. So if you can go in and feel it and they keep it in stock, then it's kind of worth it. Was that the bags of the chocolate yarn? Was that Stash Goals? My email, Ida, is listed in every video. You didn't know about, let's see. You don't pay shipping. Well, yeah, you don't pay shipping, but if you order the minimum, you don't pay shipping either. So, if you decide to make the plant pattern with blanket yarn, the fresh green and mystical looks awesome. I did make one with that, but I did it where it wouldn't be hanging, and I added some extra stitches in the pot to get it bigger. So I did try that. These to hang on the car mirror. I like them in the Parfait Chunky because I think smaller is better for that. Less obstruction of the view. You have a local store that also stocks the basic chenille and Parfait Chunky. It's great if you need one off color, but they do mark it up $1 extra a skein. But for the convenience, it's worth it sometimes, Like you're making something and you lose at Yarn Chicken and you can just run down the street to the local store and get it instead of waiting 2 weeks to get it. That makes it nice. Should you order some plush? I haven't tried it yet. I've heard good and very little bad, but I mostly have heard good about it. You're going to make some for cars. I think I don't know where I sat them. Oh, they're here somewhere. This one is not the prettiest one out of the artichoke. It's not a very bright green, but they're just like the perfect size. I like them. Let's see. Will you do Ghost on a Swing for Halloween? I do not know. I'm not making very many Halloween items, so don't know. Let's see. Are you looking for Goblin in Chenille Brights? I don't think they have Goblin in Chenille Brights. It's in Parfait Chunky. How to store printed out patterns. Get a notebook and page protectors. I don't print mine anymore, but that's what I was doing when I printed them. Now I will every now and then, like if I want to take something with me to the market and not kill the battery on the iPad, and it's a small pattern that only has a few pages, I'll print. But some of these, when you're printing 20, 30, 40 pages, it's like, no thanks. Let's see, the Elise Voluto, yeah. Goblin is still out of stock. Not bringing it back at this point. Hirschner's needs to refund you, Lorraine, or let you pick something different to take its place. I do like taking notes too, and I haven't quite figured out how, when I mark something on it when it's on the computer, to keep that to stay like that. So sometimes technology and I do not get along. Less than 10 pages to do that. Yeah, that would get expensive to laminate them all. I'm just like going to town here. Only need 20 chains and I'm at 24. Goblin is a great green, and I think they would be making a huge mistake if they're not going to bring that back. Lorraine, how long ago did you get your rust? 'Cause my rust has been nice. Don't believe it. They're going to change that date. They're just guesstimating, because if they're supposed to have it on August 22nd, then Premiere would already have it. So don't believe that date. Hi, Denise. With pocket crochet, you can mark your pattern, take notes, highlight the row. Pocket crochet. Is that a free app, Bonnie? It is a free app? Cool, thank you. I'm gonna write it down. So, you guys that live in the States and you order stuff like the Elise Voluto and it has to be imported in, how do you feel about this de minimis, whatever it's called, going away at the end of this month? Because my understanding was if it was under $800, we didn't have to pay the tariffs or whatever on it. And that's going to go away, so we're all going to have to pay for that kind of stuff. The 29th? Yeah, that's that de minimis thing, or whatever it's called. But my thinking on that was, you got yours today? It is going up 15% now. Ugh. All of it's going to go up. My thinking on that with them taking that away, so those people that do stuff like order a bunch of junk from Temu, we might see that type of thing thin out at the markets. Like, maybe. I don't know. I just kind of thought about that. Jose, I heard about that on YouTube. The different small business people like us talking about it. That's how I learned about that. I think everything's going to take a price jump. I know the backs on the eyes on Amazon are awful. And the eyes that Christine sent me, I don't know where she orders hers from, but the backs were fantastic on them. If orders from Turkey come through the States, it might affect us in Canada. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of depressing. Yes, the sinker eyes. Heather and I were talking about it the other day, and she thinks they gave me the wrong size backs for my eyes. And because there's no room in between the back of the eye and the eye itself for the yarn. One, two, three. So I'm only at 5. I'm not, this is taking too long. Let's see. You order your eyes off of Amazon, you've never had an issue with the backs. I've had them split. I've had them just where I cannot get them to go on. The splitting is what gets me, because you make this gorgeous plushie. You go to set up at market and the eye falls out. How embarrassing. So we were just talking about those eyes and one-on-one of my tester groups. Every single person who's used them have had the backs pop off. So it's not just me. They're awful. But what I started doing on those is not to like lose my money on them any more than I already have. Is if I have a 22 millimeter and a 25 millimeter, I'm using the 25 millimeter back on the 22 millimeter, and it seems to be holding up so far. You got a bad batch of 18 millimeters? That's where mine first happened, was the 18 millimeter. But I've had it happen on the others as well. But that was the first one that did it to me, was the 18 millimeter. A lot of times the backs aren't even the same as what they show in the picture. So you think you're getting one kind and then you get a completely different kind. Well, it's not that I'm ordering it like that. It's just to be able to use the ones that I already have. That way I'm like not out the 22s and the 25s. I'm only going to be out one size, having wasted my money on it. Hi, Jill. See, switch the backs and send one set back. There you go. That's a good idea, except that I've had them too long now. Let's see, got another order for Nibbles, the Country Mouse, with, if you give your mouse a cookie book. You did score on those, Mary. I haven't noticed a seam on them, Lorraine. Because I've looked at them, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why it does it. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. And I don't think I'm supposed to be there yet. Oh, I messed up somewhere. Oh, you guys. I'm not taking it out. I'll just reattach. I jumped my round and went into the other round. I am not taking it out. That's too much. Too much. Oh. So we will save this. I am not getting it finished today or in this live. I can't focus. I have to read and talk at the same time, Heather, and crochet. Not happening. But I jumped my round. I'm like, why do I have this big bald spot in the middle? The only one, yes, I will, well, and then all of you guys will know too. So, you just finished Moose the giraffe. He's so cute. He is cute. I have a blue one sitting right here. No, this is the zebra. This is not the giraffe. This is Zelda the zebra. He has a carrot. Oh my gosh. All right, you guys, it is getting late. It is now 8:35. We've been on for an hour and 35 minutes, and I'm getting really thirsty. I finished my drink, and I haven't had my dinner yet. So we are going to say good night. 9:35 here. Yes, Heather. Yeah. I don't understand. I thought we were like the earliest time zone on this continent. I did not realize there was another one that started before ours. That is so weird to me. Seven Sun. Okay. 6:30. You must be like towards California. 1:35 a.m. in the UK. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, let's say goodnight, and we will see you guys all on Sunday.